Hi everyone, I'm back with another reading, and it's going to be a love reading. As you will likely know, your own vibration, your current vibration, determines what you attract, what you can attract, what type of love, what type of connection, what type of partner. So if your vibration isn't really all that good just yet, because of whatever reason, then you are also not in the right place to attract that one glorious, wonderful love that we are all looking for. So with this reading, I'm going to show you cards in a minute, okay? I've just put the crystals here for now, so you've got something to look at as I'm talking. I'm going to use the Wildwood Tarot deck. But what we're going to do with the reading is we're going to look at where you are right now when you're watching this with your vibration. And this reading is timeless. I need to say that. So if you find this reading in 2020 or whatever, then at that moment in time, the energies work for you. So you can also come back, watch it now, and see what your vibration is like now and what that means. But you can also come back, like, in a year from now or half a year from now, and see if things have changed. So first we're going to look at where you are currently with your vibration, and then we are going to look what type of relationship is coming next. So not this wonderful, glorious relationship, it could be, but what are you going to get next, your next relationship? And then we have also a few cards to, as advice to how you can get there, what you can do to get to that relationship. And then also bear in mind that sometimes, like I said, we all want this glorious, wonderful soulmate relationship, but sometimes you first have to be in another relationship in order to get ready for that soulmate relationship. That doesn't mean to say that relationship you first need to be in, maybe even two, isn't going to be happy. Otherwise, if you were going to be unhappy, you wouldn't get involved. That makes sense, right? Every relationship will, at least in the very beginning, make you happy, make you fall in love, make you happy, make you feel joyful. So it's not like these relationships are worthless. They're not. You just need certain relationships and experiences in order to be ready for that soulmate relationship, right? And sometimes some people just stay in this other relationship, will never get involved with their, so-called twin flame. There's very few people who actually get that in this lifetime, even though many think they do. Anyhow, it doesn't really matter. Let's not argue about that. So we're going to look at what your vibration is, what your next relationship is going to be like, and what you can do to get there, to get that. There's only three choices. I haven't a clue why. I was thinking about a fourth set, but somehow it doesn't feel right to do that. I somehow seem to, it's as if I have to stick to the three, just three. So if the message you get from your choice, or all three even, doesn't resonate with you, then it's not the right message for you at this moment in time, right? That can just happen. So yeah, that's likely going to give me dislikes if that happens to people. That's how it works, and they're not happy. But I can't help it. It's as if I was just basically told to only do these three sets. So I'm going to show you these sets in a minute. I'm going to put these pyramids on them. Well, three of them, not all four, of course. I'm not certain how or where they're going to end up. These two are clear rock crystal, but they're different. This is a very light amethyst, and this is a green aventurine Aventurine green. So I'm going to do that, and then you can make your choice, and then we're going to start the reading. Alrighty, so here is the sets from left to right. It's 1, 2, and 3. So it's 2 clear crystals that I've chosen, purely intuitive. So that's for the numbers 1. If you feel drawn to this clear crystal pyramid, that's number. This one is number 2. It's got these, what do you call that? Wisps in it. I like that. Yeah, whereas this one, the number 1 pyramid, seems to have these bubbly thingies in it. And this one has these smoky, swirly thingies. And then for the numbers 3, there is the green aventurine pyramid. So please make your choice. And I'm going to start the reading. Alright, numbers 1. Where are you now with your vibration? That's the first cards that we're going to look at. And you had the pyramid with the bubblies in there. So where are you now? Let's see the following order of the cards. Where are you now with your vibration? We have the 2 of arrows, which is swords, normally speaking, and the 4 of vessels. I feel that you're going up and down with your vibration, meaning you're not quite ready just yet for that glorious, wonderful relationship. You seem to still be weighing what has happened in the past against the advantages of having another relationship. That's here with the scales, right? There's gold and there's a feather. Oh. And I really feel that it's weighing the past, mostly what happened, to the advantages of a new relationship. Like asking yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth risking getting my heart broken over again? And for some it can also be weighing having a relationship against wanting or having to put energy and time into work and career. And then you can see the feather as the relationship and the money as the career, and feeling that you might have to make a choice between the two, that you cannot just balance them both, or wondering about that, if it is possible for you to balance both a relationship and a career. So maybe this is the case if you are just at the beginning of a career, or maybe a new career, I don't know. And also that this card makes me feel that you do not want to be alone anymore. You don't want that. You do want a relationship. But as long as you haven't done the weighing, as long as that process is still going on, you cannot really move on just yet. So you have to give yourself a little bit more time. It is a process, and it is happening. It's not like you're standing still. I feel you've come quite far, as the scales are already leveled. So that you've already gotten to that stage that they're leveled, even though one holds just a feather. So you have already achieved some base level of balance. Now it feels more like making that choice, a relationship or not, taking the risk or not. And in a way you do want that. You want a relationship, but you're not done with that process yet. Then we have let's see. Hang about first. What will you get next? And then we're going to look at how you can get there. What will you get next? Then we have the Lovers, the King of Vessels, the Heron, which is the King of Cups, the Ace of Stones, the Foundation of Life, and the Knight of Vessels. And the 5th card, Knight of Vessels, the 5th card is Ecstasy. So, what I get from that is the Lovers doesn't really need much explanation, does it? That is a wonderful Wonderful connection. A really high, great, wonderful connection. A real soul click with someone. And the heron is also mature, loving and compassionate, supportive, caring. And in a sense, I also see some form of stability in there. You know, look at the way he's standing. Even though he's standing on just one foot, he is stable. He's not wobbling, he's stable. Not even though he's in the midst of that stream that seems to be flowing quite fast, but he's balanced, he's stable. So that is very positive. And with the eel, the Knight of Vessels, I feel that you've been in stagnant water a bit, or water, not necessarily stagnant in a bad way, but water that doesn't move, like a lake or something, right? But now you're leaving that behind. Here the water is flowing. There's a stream again, and now you're going there. You're going there because you're ready. You're ready for that. You're ready for new adventures. There's movement again. It's also about deep feelings being expressed at every turn. So that is, wondrous. A very loving, lively, and emotionally rich relationship that inspires and nourishes the soul. That's what I get from all these cards, that last bit. And this is really peculiar. I didn't read in the book what this was about, but I just looked at it, and what I got from it is that you have come a long way, and you worked your way through a lot of issues and troubles to finally get to this open place in the woods, as you can see here, with the trees in the background. They are really, well, it's sick in the sense that you can't get through that easily. What you call that, dense? I'm not certain what you would call that. But it's very difficult to get through through those trees, and yet you finally now manage to get to this open place where this stone is standing. So you got through a lot of those trees in order to get here. So that's why I feel you worked your way through a lot of issues and troubles where this stone is standing. And to me, this feels immediately like it is carved in stone, like it is set in concrete or something. It is carved in stone. It is. Look at the carvings in that stone. And meaning that this glorious relationship, that what is carved in stone is that glorious relationship, that glorious soul connection. It's as if what I felt with this card, what I feel with this card, this stone, is that the two of you signed a soul contract. You engraved that, etched that in this stone. So it is literally carved in stone. It is meant to be. It's just that you weren't ready just yet, and maybe the other wasn't either. Likely, right? Otherwise it would have been hell for that person if he was ready for you and you weren't. Then they can't really live their life either. Usually that goes, you mirror each other, right? So if you are working on issues and aren't ready, then the other likely also is working on issues and isn't ready. And now it seems that you both are, you will be anyway, because this is what you will get. This is what you will get. And then there's also this Five of Vessels, the ecstasy card. It's also a wonderful card. It also tells me not just the ecstasy, the happiness and joy in the relationship, but also that you can make yourself happy. Meaning you are not codependent, maybe anymore. Maybe you have been, but you're not going to be that way anymore. You can make yourself happy. And that is wonderful. So this is what is waiting for you next. I do so hope this is true. Because I had this set for myself as well. I always do one for me, okay? Then I can really get into the energies, and it really starts to get going, and then I can really connect to the questions and the reading. Yeah. So, yeah, looking just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And as far as I can tell, it's going to be a soulmate relationship, a real deep soul click. Could be twin flame, doesn't have to be. Not every soulmate relationship is a twin flame relationship, and a twin flame relationship isn't necessarily always going to be fun. It's a soulmate relationship, a high soul connection. So not a twin flame, but a high soul connection can be just so great and wonderful and fulfilling, making you happy and bringing you everything you always dreamt of. So you don't need a twin flame relationship in that sense. What it's about is that you're happy. And in that sense, does it matter if you're happy with a twin flame or you're happy with a soulmate? It doesn't. When you're happy, you're happy. And you're going to be happy. I mean, look at that. Right, so this is wonderful. Now we're going to look at how you can get there. Then we have pages, which is nice. Because pages are, in that sense, they tend to be young, right? In tarot decks, usually they are like children. They're young adults or children. So young at heart. You don't necessarily have to be young in when it comes to age. And we have this one, the breath of life. So there's 3 cards. Page of bows, the stoat, I suppose you pronounce that, I don't know, Wren, and then the breath of life. Right. Now what that means is how can you, or what can you do to get that relationship, to get there, right? To get from basically these first 2 cards where you're still weighing and not certain yet, to that relationship. That's what these cards tell us. By being playful, being lively, be flexible within your own boundaries. That's because she can also, no, she can't, she does change the color of a fur. In the winter, the stoat is white with the black tail, the point, and during spring and summer, it's a red fur. So because of that, it's the being flexible, being able to adapt. But then, of course, within your own boundaries, right? Also, hanging out with different crowds or going to different kinds of places. I also get that from this ability, so to speak, to change the color of the fur. It's like camouflage, right? So being able to fit in with different people, in different places. So maybe you should go to different places a lot, different types of places. I mean, right? I don't mean that you have to travel from city to city or from museum to museum to museum to not like that. I mean like different settings, different types of settings. And basically then enjoy yourself, live, have fun, and pay heed to your intuition and act upon it as well. You have a good ability to know the truth, and you can use that to your advantage. That can help you to not get involved with the wrong person, as long as you trust your gut instinct. So that is all basically in that card. And this card then says it's about determination. Don't give up. You have plenty of skills to deal with difficulties and challenges should they arise. But if they do, then don't let these hold you back. This determination. Don't give up. And there's also a bit of a playfulness to that little bird. Yeah. The Ace of Arrows, the breath of life. This is the head of the horse of Uffington, the chalk horse in the hill in England. Knowing exactly what you want will help greatly, because then you can shoot the arrow with complete clarity, and then the universe will react to that. That's what you basically call the law of attraction. It can then start to work. That's what they call in this card, and the interpretation of it in the book, basically the breath of life that is coming out of that the horse's mouth. That as soon as you align with and know what you really want and align with that, then the energies, the law of attraction can start doing its work and start bringing it to you. You then are a match for it. You're a perfect match for it, and then it can start to come in. And yeah, so that's good. You have to remember that will only work when you can keep this vision and dream clear of what you want, right? That vision and that dream. Because as soon as you throw doubt or fear into the works, it will slow it right down again. Because then you send out the message to the universe, I want it, but I'm not certain. I want it, I don't want it, I want it, I don't want it. And then the universe can't bring you what you have asked for. Right? It's the same as ordering in a restaurant. If you order fish and a steak and you don't know what, and 1 minute you want steak then the waiter doesn't know what to bring you either, and then you might end up with maybe just only getting potatoes and greens or something. So be clear what you want so it can come, and make sure you don't throw a spanner in the works yourself. Hence that Wren, with its determination and intuition and the ability to know the truth from the stoat. You will need that to stick to this clarity and to do this part. So the abilities of these 2 pages you're going to need to do that properly. Right? Okay, that was your reading. I hope it resonates. Please let me know and give me these summies if you do like it and if it resonated. Then I'm moving on to the numbers 2. Thank you for watching. Right, numbers 2 with the pyramid with the smoky swirly thingies in it. So where are you now? What is your vibration? We have balance, and we have the 9 of bows, respect. What about someone was phoning me? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Someone phoned me, and then I'm always afraid that the phone is going to stop working. And because of that, I also got her 2 wrong cards. They are for your reading, but not for this question. So, numbers 2, we are going... this is where you are now. The King of Stones and the Hawk. The Knight of Arrows. And the King of Stones, of course there's an awful lot to it, so the wolf. But mostly for this reading, I feel that it's about the traditional side and the structure of the wolf. And that translates to norms and values. The hawk is much about like-minded people, having a clear view, having a goal. And, calls you support. And that cause in this case is a relationship. So summed up, I feel that you already wanting a traditional, solid, stable relationship. You're not really wanting any bullshit anymore. No one wants that, of course. But I feel for you it's stronger, and more like also you don't want anything so-called extravagant, which I think might translate into not clubbing and pubbing. You're not interested in that anymore. Maybe you were never interested in that, so in that sense, not extravagant, not the clubbing and pubbing and partying and all that stuff. Maybe just so more like wanting a home life and maybe a family, having children if you're still within that age, or, just that. In that sense, the stability, traditional, solid relationship. And you're also looking for a partner who is also ready for that and also wanting that. So someone who is like-minded, which is one of the things that comes up with the hawk. Like-minded person. And what will come next, so what kind of relationship, and I will show you the cards. We have the Three of Arrows, jealousy, transition, the Six of Arrows, we have the endurance, the hermit, normally speaking, the hooded man, and the rebirth card, the Eight of Vessels. I feel this card is saying that it's about, in that relationship, there will be a cleansing and burning away of old pain and fear. That is leaving. You know, look at it, it's seeping out of that heart. And up here, it's being burnt away. It's a cleansing thing. It's cleansing. So leaving the old behind, ready for something new, a transition. We see that here as well. You're going to someplace new, figuratively speaking. Leaving the old behind. And this card I find so interesting. The that little child. It could be either a boy or a girl. In a way, I do feel it's a girl, but it can also be a boy. The endurance card. That child is really smart because it knows to find shelter for the night. Because then well, I'm gonna go for she. If you feel it's a he, fine with me. But it's just, you know, for me easier to talk if I don't have to think about that all the time, because that gets me in my head. It's not helping the reading. And she knows when that she has to find shelter for the night, so she's safe. She can just get into that cave, and then she's going to be safe. And also because there's this lightning in the background, there's this storm. I also feel that's about knowing where to go to not be in danger of that lightning, right? She knows she has to get out of the open there, because that's more dangerous when there's lightning, when there's a thunderstorm. The smart part also because she has the ability to make fire, and she also seems to know that she needs the fire to stay warm, to have light, and also to keep any wild animals away. And she can do that. And I also feel that the moving away from the lightning is avoiding drama. Avoiding drama. So all in all, this is quite a wonderful thingy in that relationship. Yeah. I actually really love that. I really love that. It's about having safety, knowing what to do, and to stay away from drama. You will feel safe in that relationship, like this shelter being there. And yeah, I seriously like that one. I really like that in this reading. The hooded man is like coming home to yourself, because the wreath above that door, and feeling comfortable and at peace with yourself, within yourself, and with yourself, and who you are. This is really deep. It's like, yeah, you're finally going to get that feeling in this relationship, coming home to yourself. You're going to feel really good. It's very cleansing. You're going to feel very good and seen, respected, and you're just feeling good within. Maybe you have had this thing on the inside that you never felt at home, or you always had this restlessness, but that's gonna go. You're not gonna have that anymore. And then the Eight of Vessels, after a period of healing and finding your feet, which you do here in that wide section, whether it's a lake or a wider part of a river, I don't know. But it's wider and the water is calmer there. It's still flowing, but not really all that fast. So when you're in there, it's slower than up here, for instance, right? Slower than the waterfall as well. So that's a place where you can rest and recuperate and heal. And when you're ready for that, then you can go through this bottleneck where the water starts to speed up again, right? Because it is a bottleneck. It's almost like a funnel. And when you're ready, you are going through there. You know, and then as you do that, you will get cleansed by these waters that flow from all these cups. And it's also not just cleansing, but it's also inspiration and new ideas and feeling eager and happy to go out there and live and do things and joy and potential. And that's all because of, these cups, these top 3 cups. I feel they've been just upright for a long time. Likely when you were in here recovering, and in the past maybe as well. But the minute that you have recovered and healed, they begin to just topple over a little bit and then pour out their contents in that larger cauldron. So then things start to flow. When you're healed, that happens, and then things starts to flow again. And it does. What's the right word? It expands because there's 3 cups here and there's 4 here, 4 streams here. So it multiplies. That's the right word. That's what I was looking for. It multiplies. And then it spills over into this water, all this water. And then it will mix and blend with that. And in that sense, it will become even more and more powerful. This is a cleansing as you go through there. And you also get inspiration. But you do that yourself. By you healing, you make this happen, that these topple over and spill over in that large cauldron. So you did that yourself. Remember that. Remember that you can create this effect yourself, that you do not have to be reliant or dependent on another for that. You can do this yourself, right? And if another person adds to that, that's great. That's interdependency. That's wonderful. But you do not need someone else to do this for you. You can do this yourself, and that's the only way to have a happy, healthy relationship too. So this all is good. There's still going to be a lot of cleansing and healing and stuff, but it's really very positive, I feel. Really positive. Then we have the last 2, the ones I first showed you mistakenly. How can you get there? We have the balance and the respect, the 9 of bows. Maintain your course, keep in a balance and be patient. It can take a bit of time, but it is coming. Trust in that. And in the meantime, you can still work on any residual fears and issues that you got. I also feel for some this is different. With some I feel there is a kind of beating around the bush with someone else. And for others, I get that you will know when the time is right, the moment and the time is right to act, because you can rely on the instinct of both the wolf and the hawk that we started off with, where you are now, right? So you have that instinct and intuition and the keen sight of that hawk as well. That can help you. And for some, I feel that will make you recognize this person, that you will also know when the time and the moment is right to act. So maybe to then move, to go out more or whatever, so you can meet them. I also think that you will then know it when you meet them, right? What I just said, that you will recognize them. And then also don't hesitate, go for it. And for some, I get yet another message with this. It might come out of the blue. So quite sudden at once that moment has arrived, right? That it then will happen quite sudden, and by the other person. So it can be that they then will come out of the blue and snatch you off the market of single people before you know what even hit you. So there's several things that I feel come up with this, and that's because it's a general reading, not a personal reading. So I'm sorry if that sounds a bit confusing, but yeah, it's just for some people it's a different message. So for some, you will get when the moment is right, you will get this person will appear in your life out of the blue, and then it will go quite fast. For others, it's more that you are waiting and for the right time and moment to arrive, and then you will act or go out more or whatever, so you can meet them. And yeah, so it's a few messages. So I hope at least one of them resonates with you and that I didn't confuse you. Otherwise, please go back and listen to it again. Because I do feel for some with this card that beating around the bush with someone, meaning that, and it's all then also going to take a little bit of time before you get involved, because you're going to beat around the bush, the both of you, before you actually sort of decide like, okay, well, we are actually really quite nuts about each other, you know. This is not playing around anymore. This is actually quite serious. So there is this aspect of time and patience involved, and then that speed, that suddenness, that, yeah. Righty, then I'm moving to the numbers 3. Righty, the last one, the numbers 3 that went for the green aventurine pyramid. Now, I just checked and I'm at 36 minutes in the recording, meaning that during your reading, a second video will start after 10 minutes. I cannot help that. Unfortunately, I don't like it, but yeah, your reading, I got quite a lot of really important messages come up, so I do not want to cut it short because of these 10 minutes. So I will, the last 20 seconds of this video, there will be a card appearing in the video with the second part 2 of your reading. So you can then just click on that, and then you will automatically go to the next part of your reading. All right. Okay, let's go where you are now with your vibration and thus with what you attract. Then we have the 10 of vessels and the 7 of stones, the healing. This is happiness, this is healing. Now you have come in a way, well, quite a long way. You are happy. You are happy overall. And I also feel a very outgoing energy with that, and that you are inspiring other people a lot, sharing your happiness with other people. But yet, then there is the healing card. And so you likely still need to do some last bits and pieces of healing. And then the question came up for you to ask yourself, have you forgiven yourself for what has happened with an ex-partner or love interest? And if you haven't had that yet, then do you still hold on to some pain, resentment, feelings of failure, or whatever, stuff like that, right? Negative stuff. If so, forgive yourself. And also feel that maybe you are focusing too much on other people to avoid facing this last bit of pain inside. Or maybe that you feel like there's a void inside if you take your focus away from other people. If so, then splash some of this water onto your own heart and yourself. Bathe yourself with it and fill your own heart with it to heal it and cleanse it. And then, well, let's see, move on. This is really important, okay? Do not underestimate this. This feels really, really strong. Yeah. Too much focused on other people because of the way the water is splashing out. And because of the healing card coming up after that. Right, we have, what's that? Empowerment, responsibility card. The abundance card. And then we have the Great Bear. And the decision. Now, I feel with this reading, I don't think I can get them all in one go. I feel that it evolves around that one. if I put them like this, let's see how that works out. It's in the middle, right? The abundance card is in, oops, no, this is the following order, the bear. And then the, let's see if it works out a bit. A little bit. Alright, okay, there we go. That's what I want, because I want you to see this. I feel all this energy from this start is pointing to the right. It is, right? This man is, his arrow, sorry, his bow is to the right. These wands are to the right, and to the middle card, the abundance card. And because of that, I feel this is a story, so to speak, that evolves around this card. This is what this relationship is about, what it can offer you, the abundance. But with the first card, that one, I feel that you have always taken a more passive role in a relationship. And if you haven't had a partner yet, then this may occur in friendships, or especially I feel in a family situation. Maybe you were never encouraged to be more active, to speak up and to have a say in things and to take responsibility in that sense as well, which is peculiar because there is the responsibility card. So in a way, in that sense, basically letting other people have the control, being, well, kind of passive, letting things happen. So you took on that role in a relationship as well, but if you do that, then it leaves you really vulnerable for abusive people and partners. I'm focusing on partners now because this is a love reading. Then you become very vulnerable and of abusive partners, and maybe you've even had that already happen to you. And with this new partner, you have to get off your ass. You'll have to get off your ass. For me, it feels as if you blended into that hill of doing nothing, of being passive, just blended in that hill and just sat there, so to speak, let other people take the lead and make decisions and have responsibility. Now you have to take responsibility as well. Not on your own, as well, right? So you carry the load together. But for you, it might feel like you carry the load on your own. Because it's different, it's unusual, it's quite a change. It's quite a change, and it feels like you have to pull your weight. This partner does not want to do all the work himself. Work means making decisions, carrying the relationship, carrying you basically energetically, having to make all the decisions and being responsible for everything and so on and so forth. He wants someone who also has input. It's also about that. Someone who dares speak up and has ideas and wants things and also dares express their own needs as opposed to letting things happen. This man is not a woman, if you're a man watching. This partner does not want to do all the work. He wants someone who's equal, who also has input. And they may also very well inspire you to start doing that more. And then there is this abundance in the middle, right? Shelter, safety, warmth, and everything is focused on that fire. All these bows are, aimed at that fire. So also passion. There's a passionate relationship, activity as well, which requires you to also be active. You cannot be in a lively, passionate, active relationship if you are still blending with that hill and not doing anything. It's not going to work. That's going to douse that fire, right? So yeah, this is what you will have to do. Get off your ass in that sense. And that's going to be quite challenging. I've told that about this card already, but also with the Great Bear. And this is a major arcana card, so this is quite important. This in normal tarot would be the Judgment. It is going to be quite challenging to you to do this. It won't always come easy to you. to make that change. But in a way, the real you is not a person who is like that in the mountain, right? That's because of stuff that happened in the past. So this is about you peeling off the layers of all fears and ego and whatever, insecurities, hurt, anything, and becoming you, the real you. And that requires you facing your demons in a way. And it's not your demons, it's your shadow. Dealing with your shadows, bringing them into the light. And it's completely up to you what you do. You can retreat and go back to that hill here and blend in there and just live your life like that. But then you will not have that abundance, that wonderful, abundant relationship. If you want this, you will have to do this. You will have to face your demons. And if you do that and enter that cave and face your shadow sides and fears and insecurities, etc., then you will come out the other end cleansed and empowered. You will be strong and healed. And that's a choice you have to make. You can go back to the hill, or you can go through the cave and do the work and get out like that, empowered and cleansed and strong. Now, for this relationship, I'm not certain if it will last forever. And again, I said that with the numbers 2 as well. Oops, I dropped cards. That is because this is a general reading, not a personal reading. For some of you who chose this, the relationship will indeed last. But I think that there's also people for whom it may not last. But that's okay. That's okay, because no matter what, you do need this relationship.